apply our knowledge in sum and product of roots by solving some problems. Okay, in number 1, find quadratic equation with the least integral coefficients whose roots are 3 plus square root of 2 and 3 minus square root of 2. Therefore, in this example, the given are roots, which are 3 plus square root of 2 and the other root is 3 minus square root of 2. Okay, so first we are going to get the sum. The sum is r sub 1 plus r sub 2. So your r sub 1 is 3 plus square root of 2. Your r sub 2 is 3 minus square root of 2. Now, in addition of radicals, you have to make the radicand equal. So, if the radicand are the same, then you can add. Like in this example, the radicand here is square root of 2. And then, the other one is square root of 2. Okay, what are we going to add here? We have an invisible 1 before the radical sign. So, in here, we have 1 plus 1 is square root of 2. And then, here, we have minus 1 is square root of 2. Okay, so, but we're not going to write 1 anymore because that is understood 1 in radicals. So, positive 1 here and then negative 1. Of course, 1 minus 1 is 0. That's why we cancel out. But we cannot add or subtract radicals with the not equal radicand. So you can just add or subtract radicals with the same radicand. The radicand is the number inside the radical sign. Okay, since they are both 2, then we can add, but we can have to cancel out it because we have invisible 1 here and then another invisible 1 on this side. So 1 minus 1 is 0. That's why we cancel out. Now, the whole number, you're going to add the whole number. So 3 plus 3 is 6. That's why the sum of the roots in here is 6. Okay, so how about the product? The product is r sub 1 times r sub 2. Okay, we multiply 3 plus square root of 2 and 3 minus square root of 2. So, you multiply like you are multiplying whole numbers. So, first, this side, negative square root of 2 times square root of 2. 2 times 2 is 4, square root of 4. Why negative? Because positive times negative is negative. Okay, so after this side, next is negative square root of 2 times 3. Okay, so just follow the arrow here, just like that. Okay, so negative square root of 2 times 3. Okay, so it is, kasi we have 1 here on this side, invisible 1, so negative 1 times 3 is negative 3, and then copy is square root of 2. Whereas on the other, we have 3 times positive square root of 2. So we have 1 here before the radical sign, so 1 times 3 is 3, positive. And then just copy square root of 2. And then for the last one, 3 times 3 is 9. Okay, over. Okay, so bring down 9 here and then add. They have the same radicand, right? Because it is square root of 2. That's why we can add or subtract. But we have negative 3 here and then the other is positive 3. So negative 3 plus 3 is 0. So that's why we cancel out. Okay, and then minus, bring down the minus sign. And then what is the square root of 4? 2. So that's why we have 9 minus 2. Okay, 9 minus 2 is 7. So therefore the product is 7. Okay, so after getting the sum and the product, write the form like the one that we used before. So x squared minus the sum of roots times x plus product of roots equals 0. So bring down x squared minus, so the sum of roots is r sub 1 plus r sub 2 times x plus r sub 1 times r sub 2 for the product of roots equals 0. So what is the sum of roots that we get? 6. So we write 6 here. And then what is the product of roots? 7. So that's why it is 7 here. And then simplify. Bring down x squared. What is negative 6? Negative times 6 times x is negative 6x plus 7 equals 0. So therefore, the quadratic equation we are looking for is x squared minus 6x plus 7 equals 0. Next is find the quadratic equation with the least integral coefficients whose roots are equal to the reciprocal of the roots of 2x squared minus 3x plus 1 equals 0. So first, write the quadratic equation given. 2x squared minus 3x plus 1 equals 0. And then write the values of a, b, and c. The value of a is 2, the value of b is negative 3, the value of c is 1. Okay, after writing all the values, get the sum and product. The sum is r sub 1 plus r sub 2 equals negative b over a equals, write the negative sign in the formula, and then the value of b, which is negative 3, over the value of a, which is 2, equals, what is negative times negative? Positive. So 3 over 2. The sum is 3 over 2. Whereas the product is r sub 1 times r sub 2 equals c over a equals the value of c, which is 1, over the value of a, which is 2. That's why the product is 1/2. And then for the reciprocal, since it is said in the problem that are equal to the reciprocal of the roots. So the reciprocal of the roots, that's why we get the reciprocal sum and then the reciprocal product. Okay, to get the reciprocal sum, right, since we have the sum which is r sub 1, get the reciprocal of that. This is considered as whole number because we have r sub 1. So therefore, that is over 1. So the reciprocal of r sub 1 over 1 is 1 over r sub 1. The reciprocal of r sub 2 over 1 is 1 over r sub 2. So you'll just have to add that. So 1 over r sub 1 plus 1 over r sub 2. So in addition, we can also use the cross multiplication. So let us cross multiply. R sub 1 times 1 is r sub 1. R sub 2 times 1 is r sub 2. What is the operation? Addition. So it is plus. Over the denominator, you have to multiply r sub 1 times r sub 2 to get the denominator. So that's why it is r sub 1, r sub 2. Okay, so this is the sum, the reciprocal sum that we're going to use later. Okay, how about in reciprocal product? So the product is r sub 1. So that is over 1. That's why 1 over r sub 1. So r sub 2 over 1, the reciprocal is 1 over r sub 2. So we multiply that. 1 times 1 is 1. R sub 1 times r sub 2 is r sub 1, r sub 2. That's why we use this reciprocal product later. Okay, now write the form. Before we write x squared minus the sum, right? The sum of the roots times x plus the product of the roots equals 0. But this time, we're going to use the reciprocal, not just the sum. The reciprocal sum and then the reciprocal product. So we write the reciprocal sum here and then the reciprocal product on the side. So that one. And then equate it with 0. And then get the values of the reciprocal sum and the reciprocal product. The r sub 1 plus r sub 2 is 3 over 2. That's why we write 3 over 2. And then over what is r sub 1 times r sub 2? 1/2. That's why we write 1/2. And then times x later plus the reciprocal product. The product is 1. So 1 that over r sub 1 and r sub 2. Or r sub 1 times r sub 2, that is 1/2. That's why we write 1/2. Okay, equals 0. Now, 3 over 2 divided by 1 over 2. So, in division of fraction, So write the first fraction, which is 3 over 2, and then get the reciprocal of the denominator, and then proceed to multiplication. That is the rule in division of fraction. So 3 over 2 times 2 over 1. So we have to cancel out 2. That's why we have now 3 over 1 or 3. Okay, or you can just multiply 3 times 2 if you don't want to cancel out. 3 times 2 is 6 over 2 times 1, 2. 6 over 2 is 3, still 3. Okay, whereas in the reciprocal product, 1 over 1 half. So write the first number is 1, and then get the reciprocal of the denominator, and then proceed to multiplication. The reciprocal of 1 half is 2 over 1. So 1 times 2, 2 over 1 is 2. So let us now substitute what we get from the reciprocal sum and reciprocal product. Okay, the form here, bring down x squared. Bring down the minus sign. And then the reciprocal sum, which is 3 times x, yung bring down that 1x plus, okay, the reciprocal sum that we get is 2 equals 0. Okay, simplify. X squared, negative times 3 times x is negative 3x plus 2 equals 0. So therefore, the quadratic equation now we are looking for is x squared minus 3x plus 2 equals 0. If we are going to find the quadratic equation with the least integral coefficients whose roots are twice that of 2x squared minus 3x plus 6 equals 0. So first, write the quadratic equation given 2x squared minus 3x plus 6 equals 0. And then write the values of a, b, and c. The value of a is 2, the value of b is negative 3, the value of c is positive 6. And then after writing all the values, write the sum represented by r sub 1 plus r sub 2 equals negative b over a equals, substitute negative, the negative sign, and then the value of b, which is negative 3, over the value of a, which is 2. So negative times negative, positive, so 3 over 2 for the sum. Okay, for the product, represented by r sub 1 times r sub 2 equals c over a. So the value of c, which is 6, and then the value of a, which is 2. So 6 over 2 equals 3. Okay, for the twice, because we are looking for the roots, twice that of this quadratic equation. Okay, so you're going to write twice the sum and then for twice the product. So for twice the sum, we have to write 2 because from the word twice, so it is 2 times. Okay, the sum represented by r sub 1 plus r sub 2. So it is like this. So 2 times the quantity of r sub 1 plus r sub 2. And then for the product, maybe you are confused because twice the product. Why is it 4? Because we already have 2 here, twice, right? So twice, you have to quadruple it. So it becomes 4 times the product, which is r sub 1 times r sub 2. So this is constant. If it is twice, the sum is always 2 times the sum represented by this, and then for the product, it is always, if it is twice, it is always 4 for the product times the representation for the product, which is r sub 1 times r sub 2. Okay, after writing all of this, write now the form we had before. So x squared minus 2 times r sub 1 plus r sub 2, this one, times x plus the twice the product, which is 4 times r sub 1 times r sub 2 equals 0. Okay, so bring down x squared minus 2, and then what is the sum? 3 over 2. So that's why we write here 3 over 2. And then what is the product? 3. We write 3. Okay, so negative 2 times 3 over 2 is 3, because you can cancel out 2 here. That would become 1 times 3, so 3. Or multiply 2 times 3, 6 divided by 2, 3, still 3. Why is it minus sign here? Because that is based on the form minus. Okay, so x squared minus 3x plus, what is 4 times 3? 12. So plus 12 equals 0. Therefore, the quadratic equation we are looking for is x squared minus 3x plus 12 equals 0. For the last one, find the quadratic equation whose roots are equal to 3 times the roots of x squared minus 8x plus 5 equals 0. Okay, in this problem, first step that you're going to do is to write the given quadratic equation x squared minus 8x plus 5 equals 0. And then identify the values of a, b, and c. The value of a, which is 1, the value of b, which is negative 8, the value of c, which is 5. And then after that, write the sum. Okay, the sum is represented by r sub 1 plus r sub 2 equals negative b over a. Okay, equals the negative here for the formula, and then the value of b, which is negative 8 over 1, which is the value of a. So negative times negative 8 is positive 8. Therefore, the sum is 8. For the product, represented by r sub 1 times r sub 2 equals c over a. The value of c is 5. The value of a is 1. So that is 5 over 1 equals 5. Thus, the product now is 5. 5 here. Okay, so in the problem, it says that are equal to 3 times. Okay, 3 times the roots. So, 3 times the sum, 3 times the product now. So, since it is 3 times, from the word 3 times, for the sum, we have to write 3 times 3. 3 times the sum. So, this one. Okay, the sum represented by r sub 1 plus r sub 2. And then for the product, so we have to double it. So, 3 times 3 is 9. So, that would mean by 3 times the product. The 3 times the product is 9. So, if it is 3 times, always use 3 for the sum and 9 for the product. Times the representation of the product, which is r sub 1 times r sub 2. Okay, after getting all of this, write the form. Okay, the form we have is 3 squared minus the sum of roots here, and then the product of roots here. The sum of roots for the condition 3 times is x squared minus 3 times this one, r sub 1 plus r sub 2 times x plus 9 times the product, which is r sub 1 times r sub 2 equals 0. Okay, and then substitute. What is the sum that we get a while ago is 8. So we write 8 here. How about the product that we get? 5. So we write 5. Now, 3 times 8 is 24. And then 9 times 5 is 45. That's why the quadratic equation we are looking for 3 times the roots of this quadratic equation is x squared minus 24x plus 45 equals 0. Thank you.